linear inequalities in one variable. Here we have few scenarios which we will use to build linear inequalities, then graph them on number line, and finally express them in the form of interval. Let's get started with scenario number 1, which says that you must be at least 18 years old to register for this competition. So, if X represents the age of registrant, A part, if X represents the age of registrant, then X must be 18 years, exactly X equal to 18, or more than 18. So both of these possibilities are included. Therefore, we are going to express both of those possibilities in our mathematical model. So X greater than 18 will express the scenario or the situation where the age of the person is more than 18. But because the person, the registrant, or the X can be exactly equal to 18, therefore we will include the equality sign as well. So here 18 is called the reference value. If reference value is part of the inequality, we use equal sign along with greater than or less than whatever inequality sign we use. Otherwise, if this question was that you must be more than 18 years old, then this 18 reference value was not part of this inequality and we wouldn't use the equal sign. Now let's get to the number 2. The coin is, so the B part here is, the coin is between 7 and 9 years of age. Here what are the reference points? 7 and 9. Are they part of the solution? No, because the word between means that this reference value 7 and 9 itself is not included. The age must be more than 7 and must be on the other side less than 9. Therefore, the equal sign is not going to be included in this. So again, we define a variable. If X represents the age of coin, then seven is less than X and X is less than 9. That's how the word between is translated into mathematical model. So X is greater than 7, but on the other side it's less than 9. So C part here, in the C part says you can bring at most 3 people with you in my party. So now let's define the variable. If X represents the number of people that you can bring with you in my party, in the party, then how many people? At most 3 people. Means that you can bring 2 people or you can bring 1 person or maximum you can bring 3 people. But is the number 3, the reference value itself, part of this? Yes, if you bring 3 people, that's fine too. Therefore, the reference value is part of this inequality. Therefore, we are going to say x is less than or equal to. So this distinction is very important and should be kept in mind all the time, that is the reference point itself part of the inequality or not. If it is part, then use the equal sign, otherwise don't use it. So now the last part is the only way you can pass this exam is if you score 60 or more marks. Here the reference value 60 is clearly part of the inequality, because if you get 60 marks you can still pass the course. Therefore, D part, if x represents marks obtained in the exam, then x is greater than or equal to 60. 60 itself being part of this, then x is greater or equal to 60. So these are the inequalities for the given scenarios, and now we are going to draw each of these inequalities on the number line. So here we have a number line, and we will use this number line to draw the first inequality first. Say here, let's say it's 0. The scale is up to you. If the number reference value is like in hundreds, you can keep the bigger scale. But here this is 18, x is greater than or equal to 18. Now x is greater than or equal to 18. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and let's keep going, and let's say that 18 is here somewhere. Now here we have to make two decisions. The x is greater than or equal to 18. First we need to see where is the reference value. The reference value is 18, which we have identified. Is x on the right side or is x on the left side? Greater than always means right side. This is always a comparison tool. If you want to see which number is smaller and which number is bigger, the number on the left is always smaller, the number on the right is always bigger. Because here x is bigger than 18 or larger than 18, therefore it must be on the right side. So that's decided. We already know what is our reference value, that is 18. Now the last thing we are going to decide, that if this inequality has the equal sign with it as well, means that if the reference value is part of this inequality, then we draw a circle, but we fill it. So this must be a solid circle, filled inside as well, and then draw a line to the right of 18 to represent that x is greater than 18. So here you can see that we have covered everything. Greater than, we have covered x being right. Equal, we have covered with solid circle. And 18, the reference value is here that we have already identified. So this was the graph of this inequality. Similarly, if we want to draw the graph for the second, that our graph is between 7 and 9. So let's say that 7 and 9 are here somewhere. Here this is 7 and this is 9 is here somewhere. So now 7 and 9 are, because the inequality itself is 7 is less than x, x is less than 9. Means that x is to the right of 7 but x is to the left of 9. So that is one thing that we have to decide, and we also need to identify the reference points, which are 7 and 9. So once reference points are identified, and we also know that x is between 7 and 9, and the last thing now we want to see, that is our circle going to be a solid circle at 7 and 9, or is it going to be an empty circle? It's going to be an empty circle because the equal sign is not part of this inequality. If this inequality contained equal as part of it, we would draw the solid circle, but not in this case. Therefore, we are going to draw a circle but will not fill it, and also we are going to draw another circle at 9, but we are not going to fill it, but we will draw a line between them to make it clear that this line is representing the inequality between 7 and 9. So this is graph of this second inequality, and now we are going to draw the inequality for the C part, that is C part, that x is less than or equal to 3. Again, if we take the steps, locate where is the reference point. 3 is the reference point, which is here, not hard to see. Then we decide, is x on the left or right? X is smaller than 3, so x is on the left. Two things are done. Third thing, is the circle going to be solid or is it going to be empty circle? It's going to be solid because the equal sign is included in this. Therefore, we draw a circle at 3, fill it to make it solid circle, and then draw the line to the left all the way, because that everything to the left is part of this inequality. That's why this inequality is called x is less or equal to 3. Similarly, now you got to use the bigger scale because x is greater than 60. So draw yourself a line which is large enough to accommodate number 60. Identify where the 60 is. Then see if x is to the right or left of reference value. And the last thing you see, is the circle going to be empty or is it going to be solid?